Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we will be continuing in the fourth case of the game, Trial Part 1. Alright, so now that we've finished our little intro section, we are now finally gonna call some witnesses up. After we spoke to Von Zeeks last time. And, I don't know. Interested to see how many witnesses we have, what our witnesses are like, if any of them could possibly be the killer, you know, that kind of thing. Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot and went running into the room. Very well. Lead the witnesses in. Sorry, a little cough. The defendant may step down from the witness stand. Still with your dramatic. Ah, that's funny. Certainly, my lord. Gotta do your animations. Oh, wait. Oh, excuse you. What's wrong with your lips, sir? Hey, that dude looked familiar. And the girl, she looks cute. She looked like a mix of like Red Riding Hood and like Espella from the Professor Layton crossover game with Ace Attorney. That's a game I will never play for this channel. I love the game. But I swore that I would never play Professor Layton games for this channel. Even the crossover one. And it's not that I'm bad at puzzles, because I'm pretty decent. But those games, I feel like it'd be very time consuming. Because sometimes you just want to get to the main story, but the puzzles take a lot of time, you know? And if you get stuck on some, then you get self-conscious because you're like, oh, I'm recording this and people are watching and judging. And I want to have fun. So I think Professor Layton games are just something I would rather just play in my free time. Which I have. I've played most of them. Pretty much almost all of them, actually. I never finished the latest one that I got, which was like the new spin-off one. Catriel or something. Catriel's Journey. I forgot what it was called. I never finished it, actually. I don't know what happened. I got distracted. Anyway, that's what that girl reminds me of. A character from that game. Just her look. So, witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Sir, oh gosh, how am I supposed to voice you? Are you even human? Like, are you having like an allergic reaction? Like, how do you eat? How do you breathe? Is that your lip or your tongue? I mean, it looks like your lip. Because if that was your tongue, you'd be really screwed. And like, are those supposed to be dark smudges? Like from lack of sleep? Or is that just like soot, like dirt from living on the streets? Because I mean, your outfit does look kind of dingy as well, right? Clearly you have it rough, right? You poor man. Okay, they're all very distracting for different reasons. Her, because she won't stop her little movements. Like, could you stop? And then that other guy, because he's shaking constantly. And I mean, he has to be this. He's the same guy from the first game, isn't he? Unless he's just, is it the same character? I forgot. What's his name? Beppo? He was like a driver or something? That's what it looks like. I have no idea what voice to give, like, a character who has a weird lip like this. Like, How can you even talk? It's so ridiculous. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Plus, I'm trying not to cough. Oh, why is the cough back? Probably because the weather's getting cold. Names. We don't use names. What do you fancy for the lecturers? How's that? Can you understand me? Is it understandable? I'm gonna try to talk as if my lip is like that too. Oh, finally, she stopped moving. Thank goodness.
We're just free and easy. So what we like. Live where we want to live.
Oh, that's totally him, isn't it? Oh, you poor man. Was he still... I think... Well, did he tremble like that before? Yeah, because he was always cold, right? So, this poor man, he has it rough still. Is it still gonna be him? I have to wait and see if they say, oh yeah, it's you, Beppo. Excuse me. I give them all a vacant stare as they walk down Fresno and spin a few words into a verse for them. Ah, would I be right in assuming that all three of you make your living by selling wares on the street? Everyone calls me Gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know. Eek, gossip, huh? Gossip with the big lip. Jaunty little tidbits? Got an absolute smasher for you, sir. Right up your ghetto it is. Oh god. I hope you guys can understand it and that it's not too incomprehensible. It's a weird voice. It's different, that's for sure. I like different things. 6 pence is the price, and not a penny less. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now? Wait, how dare he? Is that allowed? I shouldn't have to pay for this. Excuse you. You're under oath. Oh, come on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested. Try the man. Excuse you, no! I don't have money for this. Kazuma, how could you? Top 10 anime betrayal right here.
Give him the money and see what it is.
No, Susato, come on. You're on our side, aren't you? Pay the man, counsel. Will you at least reimburse me, Judge? Please. Alright, alright. 6 pence it is. Jeez, why does it have to be me? Dang it. You want to get it, sir? There, got your listening ears on. Just between us, a young couple on Slate Street have just had twins. Oh, come on. Give him the money back, dang it. His eyes are going crazy. I mean, that would be me. I'd be like, I'm gonna jump over this and strangle the hell out of you if you don't give me the money back. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? It wants to spread. But that bit's up to you and your mouth, of course. Why is that gossip worthy that people had twins? Like, congrats? I got more, you know. Want another juicy one? 6 pence a piece it is, if you're curious. I am curious, yes, about what's going on just under that fat bottom lip of yours. I would love to just rip it off. Namely, that unusual bruise or whatever it is that's poking out from under your collar. Oh yeah, I see that now. Holy crap. Were you strangled? That looks like a thick band, or... It doesn't look like like a strangulation bruise, though, like a handprint. It looks more like something like a belt or a collar was like tightly wrapped around his neck. Ugh. Dang. Are you okay? Are you into some kinky stuff? Is that how you are you making your money in other ways? Do you need help? Blink once or twice. Although I don't think he's opened his eyes, right? He's one of those anime characters that this is all you ever see. Their eyes are always like that. What about the next witness then? What name do you go by and what do you sell?
Me? I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, isn't it? I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids.
Wait, fireworks? I don't know. I didn't know they would have fireworks in their day and age. You know, all this time I thought maybe it was the killer waiting in another room to shoot, right? To draw attention for witnesses. But if fireworks exist, that could go off and sound like a gunshot, maybe? Okay, I see.
6 pence a pop? What do you say?
She's allowed to do that? You weren't exaggerating with little. Although, yeah, that was very little. Like, how would you do it to make it sound like a gunshot, though? The way it did right now doesn't sound like a gunshot, so... I mean, if it was just one and it was, like, bigger, maybe it would sound more like one? Do they actually sell?
Oh yeah, the second years can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school.
I don't think you want to encourage that kind of thought process. Not the most savory of ideas, young lady.
School is for fools, I say.
Oh, and you're kissing them? Oh, okay, she's a weirdo.
What do you say then, eh? Want a part with 6 pence for a pop?
What's with all of your obsession with 6 pence? Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Dag nabbit, how many times am I gonna lose out on money in this, just this part?
Tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you could blow up the whole courtroom.
Girl, this is like terrorism. You need to stop. Try the woman. Stop! Why don't you do it, man? Come on, this is ridiculous.
Give her the money and see if she's right.
What, you want to blow up the courtroom? Pay the woman, counsel. Ugh. Alright, I'll buy one. Well, this one I think could be evidence, so we kind of had to.
Lovely stuff. Right then, this is something a bit extra, just for you. The Venus Special. Only 600 pence.
That looks bigger. Okay. 600? Girl, I'm not made of money.
It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there?
And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the Old Bailey, either. The Venus Special Firecracker consisting of 100... We bought it! Oh god, our money, no! Consisting of 100 smaller fireworks at 6 pence each. What sort of a bang could it make? So that's how it would sound more like a gunshot. but the way it did it before, because they looked like so little individual, it would really all have to go off at once in order for it to sound like one cohesive sound, like one bang, right? Rather than a little scattered boom, 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 boom. And the last witness, what name do you go by and what do you sell?
I'm a thinker, me to think all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think.
What? And what's with that 100? What?
Because I stand there on the street watching the world go on about me, they call me the observator. You're old man. Everyone calls you Sandwich, and you know it.
Sandwich? Why? So is this not Beppo? Or has he changed his name, or...? So, you don't actually sell anything?
Problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. I give advice, I do, and think what it means.
Wait, hot something... Wait, hot actual hero? Is that what it says? I'm confused.
I don't actually sell anything, no, come to think of it.
I guess his name is Sandwich. Oh, okay. So I guess they're just reusing the same character then. Kind of like they did with the... It was the guy at the hotel, right? That he looked just like the other character, but it clearly wasn't the same character. Makes sense. Like someone said before, having to reuse assets to save money. Pity.
No more purchases today, please. My wallet. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems.
They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. And always in the same place. Directly adjacent to the crime scene.
I see, and thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose.
Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witnessed the crime.
Well, I'd be bigger than I thought. That's between us.
Venus de Milo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw.
What I think is, if all what we see is light and shadow, playing with our eyes, is any of it real? Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. We saw the whole thing from start to finish, we did. Everything from the moment they went in the building.
It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang.
Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. I ran into the room and there he was, the Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body.
I was scared half to death, me, so I ran off to find a copper.
Okay.
If these witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything,
Who did they see going inside the building?
Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Barak Van Zieks. I've seen pictures of that Reaper in the paper. I know what he looks like. And just between us, folk love stories like this. I've made myself a tidy some already.
But wait, the room was just one of several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it.
All those flats on Fresno Street are unoccupied. Course they are. They're small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot. The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased.
And we know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone.
The testimony the court has just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime.
No.
Hey, we cannot do any summation examinations, I just realized. Because we only have the judge, so oof, we gotta be really careful here.
Thank you for your candor, my lord.
Counsel for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examine the witnesses.
Yes, my lord.
In a closed court like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. I have to break down this testimony somehow. Alright. Okay. This whole they went in the building. We saw it all. Alright, let's see. When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Yeah, I want clarification. Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Van Zieks?
I suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty.
I do find it weird that none of them have normal names. They're all just like nicknames. Gossip, Venus, and Sandwich. No, I'm sure it's normal, I guess. But it's also a little shady. I find you guys shady.
But I'll tell you one thing. It was the old Reaper that went in left, that's for sure and certain.
Just behind Inspector Gregson. Did they arrive at the same time as each other?
No, not at all. The first fellow must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard that gunshot.
15 minutes? So he was killed before that? Quietly then. I don't know. Now my theory is like... It's really throwing me off, man. I don't know. The victim arrived 15 minutes before? Are you sure about that?
Am I sure? Am I sure? Does it seem likely that I'd have forgotten a fella with bright red hair like that, does it?
Ah, the red hair.
Yeah, his hair was really red, wasn't it? Redder than my flaming fireworks, even.
That fiery red mop still burned on the inside of my eyelids, it is.
Wait a minute. You're saying the man was a redhead?
Weren't you listening, chum? Oh, he was a redhead. And he had a big trunk with him as well.
Wait a minute. A big trunk? Oh, I'm getting a bad feeling. But... that feels bad, you guys. Especially after I freaked out over Judge Jigoku's big suitcase. But the timing... And Judge Jigoku was too... Like, there's no way that it could have been him, right? Because, like, the timing of him arriving... And then... The fact that he's clearly a Japanese man, I think they would have noticed that, right? That just feels like such a weird coincidence to me. Oh, does that bother me? It's probably nothing, but it bothers me. And where did the trunk go? Huh. Okay, anyway.
But Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, we saw the wig.
Seems likely that the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party.
Yeah, and that helps me because then that means he could have been killed before.
No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct.
What, just because you saw the wig? No, it could have been someone kind of dressed similarly, wearing a red wig as well.
What?
Just have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. No, you guys are assuming.
Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, all right.
He looks ridiculous. That looks so ridiculous. No, Gregson would never... I mean, there's no way he could have passed off as one of them, so... No. How stupid do they think people are? I mean, those people, those witnesses were clearly dumb. Because, I mean, look at his sideburns! And the mustache, and... Ugh, okay, whatever.
Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, all right.
And a red hairpiece.
Ugh.
Of course, we saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we?
I still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece, though. So then why on earth would he have been wearing something like that? The color does seem to suit the man, one might say.
What? Judge? Maybe if he had, like, gone to the effort of trying to, like, dye the rest of the hair in his face. That doesn't make sense, though.
The photograph will be submitted as evidence, please, counsel.
See, the whole... his body being tightly curled up. That seems to me like, was he inside the trunk? Because that would explain why his body was in that position, right? If it was a really large trunk. Then how did they carry it? Was it on wheels? Did they even have trunks on wheels? Because whoever had him with them in the trunk had to be strong to move that. If it's, you know, a body in the trunk. Okay.
And what became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying?
I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene.
Yeah, that's shady, bro.
So it just disappeared?
But, do you expect us to have been watching the building every second there?
We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though. No question about that. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang.
A big bang. Okay.
Hold it!
So, I don't know. I don't know how we can verify about the fireworks.
By which presumably you mean the gunshot.
I saw these little things, don't I? How would I know what a gunshot sounds like? They've always thought it probably sounds a bit... like this, doesn't it?
And you say that you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant here enter the body.
Building.
That's right. It was almost straight away. bang it went, just like that.
Well, the Ripper, isn't he? It's what the French call a fait accompli. When the Ripper is around, people are going in the ground. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it?
I think we get the message.
The Reaper couldn't allow the Inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clearer motive for the crime.
Yes. Certainly an eminently credible motive.
But if he's been getting away with it all this time, and you guys have not been able to prove it was him, why would he suddenly be so sloppy and just let himself be captured? Stupid.
How stupid do you think he is? How dare you?
Great.
And at that point, you ran inside. Is that correct?
Now, I'm not gonna point fingers at Kazuma because I know right now Kazuma's angry and blinded with like his thirst for revenge. But like everything else, it's like, come on. I don't know. Gossip can wait to go see. I don't know. Kind of lost them. Should I keep pressing? What new evidence do we have? Okay.
Have you had an idea, Mr. Naruhodo? You're staring at the end of the string of fireworks.
Sorry, it's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like.
Shall we find out?
What, right there and then? Are you crazy?
What? But she said it could blow up the courtroom.
Oh, they just did it right there? In the middle of everything? Alright, that was a fairly sizable bang.
My ears are still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, at least we did it and it sounded like one big bang, so that's definitely the gunshot they heard.
It sounded almost exactly like...
Alright. It's funny how nobody is like confronting them. What are you guys doing? We heard that. What the frick? Alright, it goes off like a gunshot. Cool. Probably gonna use that. Photograph. Anything in particular? Its hands? No. Anything else? I think we already looked at this, right? The crimson floor plan.
Hold it!
I don't know. So then you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right?
That I was. Kicked the door open like a professional, I did. And yelled out, "What's going off here?"
Lord Van Zeeks claims all he heard was a man scream, though.
And it was dark inside the room.
No, not dark at all. The candles burning on the wall.
Really? Wait, what?
And there was a fellow collapse on the floor. That's between us. It's the first thing I noticed when I got inside.
But then how did Van Zeek say he didn't?
I I see. Even though Lord Von Zieks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall.
The next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. The accused, Barak Van Zieks. That's right, the pale-faced Reaper himself. I was a little shocked, I can't deny it, but I am no living coward. I stood my ground and gave that Reaper a cold, hard stare myself.
Oh, what's up? What's up?
Excuse me.
So this is what I was waiting for. Okay. I thought I was looking for something to present, but... Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich?
There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. Just 2 slices with no middle. So I don't know what you could want with me. I think that maybe you just remembered something. Having heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean. What I think is, well, the things really. We've tried to dress ourselves up as something else, but at the end of the day, we're all just street sellers.
That's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now.
You trying to silence him?
Unless you want us to make you into a real sandwich.
When he saw the Reaper,
Oop, wrong voice.
when he saw the Reaper, he fell clean over on his backside. That's it.
Oh, you rotten beggar. I told you to keep that a secret.
That he fell down? Oh, so the scream did happen. Okay.
He screamed, he did.
Oh, wrong voice again.
He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all fours. That's all I wanted to say.
Call him out.
Mr. Gossip, is this true?
The floor was dead slippery, that's why. Planted my hand in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck.
Oh, your hand. Okay. So then that's your handprint on the back of the board. How did your handprint end up on the back of the board, though? If you fell on the floor? Did you... When you fell, did you, like, grab onto the board? But that's, like... on the other side of the room? I mean, it is near the door. But that's still kind of weird. I guess he tried to... Like, he grabbed onto the board when he fell, maybe? But, like, it's still strange. Because if he got blood in his hand... That would insinuate that he was a little closer to Gregson's body, right? Because... looking at the picture of Gregson... I mean, yeah, there was a lot of blood. But I don't think it was like a humongous amount that spread super wide. So he had to have been kind of close. I don't know. Huh. That's interesting, though.
What? A pool of blood?
But listen here. Even when I was sprawled on the floor, I still kept giving that Reaper a cold hard stare. And don't you forget it.
Let's just go back a little. Did you say you got blood on your hand?
I did. Happens to the best of us at time, doesn't it? I was scared, so I slipped over. We can keep it just between us, can't we?
No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information to your formal testimony.
Oh, if I must.
The witness will amend his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once.
I think you see where we're going with this, Kazuma. Okay,
I slipped over and got blood in my hand, so I quickly wiped it off on the floor.
Can I just present, or do I... Can I present that? Because... I think I can just present it. Because I already found it, right? I'm kind of like... nervous. Bloody handprint on the backside. Let's just go for it.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. I get worried that I'm like, oh, should I press again? Or, oh, did I examine everything thoroughly enough? Oh, fool me once, fool me twice, you know? So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that? On the floor of the room. Which means, yeah, was the board already... Because did you knock it down? At first I thought, yeah, maybe he went to grab... Like, he grabbed it subconsciously when it was falling. And it's on the ground, so he thought it was... But then how did it end up back up and where it was again? That's weird. Are you quite sure about that?
Well, what else do you expect me to have done, huh? Does it really matter?
Objection!
The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. What exactly is the defense asserting? Hey, he's the one who said it. If you listen, you'll find out, Prosecutor Asogi. Hey, be patient. Let me get to what I was in the middle of doing, dude. It's like, oh shit, he put me in my place. That's hot. I'm sorry. Oh, I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see those kind of moments where he was like, oh, the student has become the master. Oh my. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was a handprint in blood left very clearly at the scene. Oh? Oh, is that a new look for you, Ryunosuke? I think it is. Because normally when he kind of is putting his hand on his hips, he like... Because he had the sword, he would like have one wrist like dangling over the sword, right? And it was always like kind of like a sassy look, and he had kind of like a smirk when he did it, and it was really hot. But he's very serious right now. He doesn't have the smirk, and he doesn't have the sword. So now it's just both hands on hips. Alright, you still looking hot, boy. Good for you, good for you. Boy turned to a man. On the back of this notice board. Oh, whoa, big freak out there. Ah, yes, indeed, indisputably, a handprint in the distinctive color of blood. Sir? What the hell? Are you okay? That was an awkward position to have your body in.
Oh, you're dead right. That's my right hand. I know it anywhere.
Objection!
The witness very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. Any handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection!
Oh, irrelevant? Excuse you? A handprint of blood? You think it's irrelevant? Not if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor. Yeah. In that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Just look at the floor plan of the room. Yeah, that's the weird part, right? Why? It's so strange. But all I can think is maybe when, like, it was picked up and moved at some point? But who and when? Why? That's strange. Just look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim, and in an upright position. Even if it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, it would have been a considerable distance from the body. Yeah, but then how did he get blood on his hand, bro? I already thought about this.
I fell over when I came across the body. So, it was basically right next to the corpse, not on the other side of the room.
In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason.
I take it that you formulated a proper hypothesis, Counsel.
I mean, it's annoying that we always have to come up with the answer, but the only thing I could think of is, yeah, somebody moved the board.
Regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint found at the scene.
I have, my lord.
This discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by
The board moving. Yeah.
the real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious, so it is.
I did notice that too, yeah.
If the witness had put his hand against the board, the finger should be pointing upwards.
What does that tell us?
It tells one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved.
What?
Objection.
You're claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting? Then tell the court who.
I don't know that yet, but the point is, and I mean, what, you expect me to be a psychic?
Let's keep asking these witnesses, because I tell you, man, something shady about some of them. I feel like, I don't know, even if they didn't kill him, like they know more than they're saying, or they're like in on it, or the whole thing, like I said from the beginning, them just running up there and just everything about it just feels off to me. Plus, they're so desperate for money, right? How do we know that they're not being paid for some of this stuff? Like, they're like, all you have to do is, if you hear a shot, run up and do this. Or, you know? I don't know. I'm sus on them. Very sus.
But the point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. And that would be the position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board was situated?
Oh no. How am I supposed to know? I mean, closer to the body. Obviously. But I don't know exactly where. Does it matter? Like, here, maybe? Hopefully that's fine. Ugh.
Take that!
Oh. Well, at least it counted. Why is it so close to the door? Okay, at least it counted, because I thought it was closer to the body, but sure.
This is the only possible location.
Really? That's weird. Clearly, if it was there, then the killer did that on purpose. But why? To have it knocked over? Because that's like right when the door is open. Unless it's to block the vision of the body? Because he said he didn't see it, right? Von Zieks. But then because this guy knocked it over, he said he saw it. Right? And Von Zieks said he was heading towards the desk. So if he had made it all the way to the desk, then he might have been able to see the body. But if he didn't make it all the way in, then I guess that's why he didn't. I don't know. Okay. Only possible location.
Immediately adjacent to the doorway. If the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier, he said that when he entered the room, it was dark, and he couldn't see the body. But if the notice board had been here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. And the light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
I guess. I guess the candle's light was so weak that it didn't really brighten up anything other than that immediate area? I guess. But I guess that's true. I mean, we don't really use candles as much anymore because they're not as good as like lamps, right?
Objection.
But the accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him.
That's true. Or, in his precise words,
Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I don't know about calling it a scream, but he was talking about me and no mistake. Because it was me that kicked the door open.
If you look again at the floor plan, consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with force. Yeah. Which is weird. How did they know then? Or was that part of the plan? Like they told them, make sure you kick the door open. You know? You go running up because you hear gunshots and then kick the door wide open. And then maybe they screamed because he didn't know he was going to stumble upon a dead body. That can't. The door struck the notice board, knocking it over and making the victim's body visible. Good gracious. My client has told nothing but the truth. He simply described what he saw. Ugh. Oh, Kazuma. That clearly upset you. Order, order! Counsel, how has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it. Yeah. Into the position where the police, myself, and my colleagues saw it when investigating the room. Witness, what have you to say for yourself?
What? Me, my lord?
You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board.
The witnesses in the stand will testify again.
You will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime.
Stop looking over the glasses at me. I get the message.
The mystery of the moving board. Ooh, okay. I was hoping we would get a little further, but we're already almost at the hour mark, and gosh, doing this man's voice is killing me. It's like drying my mouth out. So I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if the voice is like too hard to understand. I take no offense if it's like awful and you guys can't stand it and you can't understand it and you're like, please don't do it anymore. I'm just trying my best because, you know, his lip is like that. So I'm like, oh, let me try to sound how I imagine the character would sound. But if you don't like it, I could always try to figure something else out for him, I guess. And maybe it would be better for me so I don't have to keep drying my mouth out. We'll see. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye.